people interested here. 53 faction war. This is Calderis Refinery and Chaos versus Orks. For the blue Chaosy team, it's Rostam 313 as a Chaos Sorcerer. Offensive and disruptive Kommando Nob game manipulation and control abilities begins in melee combat. This is the Word Bearer's elite scheme. Alongside elite player mentally deranged is a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on powerful offense and disruption fights mainly in melee combat. This is some World Eaters, the elite scheme. And rounding off this team here, Andreas Leonhardt is a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with this damage of a time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow, rocking the Death Guard elite scheme. Up against, for the red Orky team, this is not the Great Cornholio. I believe this is Can't Micromate Stop Flaming, a play we've seen in several faction wars. I'm pretty sure that's right. He's playing a Kommando Nob, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins range combat with a twin link shooter in retreat there. Alongside, Rogal Dorn is a Warboss, a melee commander that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Freebooters DLC. And rounding off the teams here, Matouzka as a Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair. Up against the Sorcerer on this northeastern side. Lots of DACA going in. Can they get a CSM model before they have to retreat? Rostam forcing melee combat with his CSM as he should do, and the Sorcerer can tie up the other squad of shooter boys. Look pretty damn cool, these Word Bearer fellas, with the parchment on them. He forces them off, but here comes another CSM squad. Don't think the shooter's going to be able to do a whole lot here. They don't want to give up this side easily though, because then they'll lose that wreck point and might get their power push, but also they might have to. Sorcerer is still on these fellas. And that's a special attack too. Took out 2 models. Would have sent them flying if they weren't in retreat there. In the middle, it's uncapped. Here comes a Chaos Lord. A mentally deranged Chaos Lord at that. Breaking stuff already. Gotta be careful, if you can, to not break cover that's on your side of the map, especially a big contested VP, but it's kind of unavoidable by the end of the game. Shooter boys there with big shooters being forced off. These heretics are not capping up here. They're going to try and tie up this Mekboy, who can just teleport around, of course. Already has his battery pack. What is going on this west side? Warboss in base. Up against that Plague Champion there with some Nurgly worship in base there. We've got Blight Grenades up for Andreas Leonhardt. Let's see how they do. Something I rarely purchase for my Plague Champions because, I mean, sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it does very little. I'd rather just get Mucus Discharge and be boring and safe most of the time, but it can be awesome. Looters over here with a Death Gun. Can suppress stuff and do tons of damage in big bursts of DACA. It's a pretty awesome looking gun. I like that little buckets of bullets that they have on the side there. Orks coming mid. Sluggers, double shooters. No upgrades that I can see at all. He's gone for some quick Storm Boys. And he got that battery pack, of course, as well, which is like 30 power or something, I think. Sorcerer being shot to pieces by Orks. He's got Vestments of the Warp, so can teleport around and be annoying. Teleport right into shooter boys and shut one of them down with some melee. Here comes that Chaos Lord. Has 26 DPS power melee on his default weapon. One of the coolest weapons in the game that guy's got. Kind of unfortunate, it's the default weapon that's often switched out. But there you go. Heretics might not get away here. No, took too long to start retreating. Might have not got away anyway, but that was a massive amount of shootiness in a very short duration on those heretics there. Chaos Lord still trying to lead the line, but he's going to be forced off. Not even he can shrug off that much DACA. Jumping in though are Raptors, suppressing as they land, doing 30 DPS each model, I believe. Some CSM with Eternal War might get set upon by Storm Boys. Storm Boys happy to engage the heretics here and backed up by shooter boys and a battery pack heal. They are having a really good time over on the seaside. Bossing it over here. Sorcerer teleports away. Happy to try and get a hit in. That hit seemed to like miss or something. He does have his Sword of Flame, doing damage over time. It's on fire. Sluggers bashing a node and getting some capping going from Shooter Boys. Gonna have a 2-to-1 here, both the naturals maybe. Raptors with a staggered jump, suppressing 3 squads with that staggered jump, but now they have to run away. Maybe should have waited for Rostam to come back out here before he jumped in. Nice special again from the Sorcerer. Seemed to get a hell of a lot of specials, this fella. Where's he gone to? Oh, he teleported back. He's level 2. Orks did take the VP, but maybe should have backed off a little bit more. They knew that Rostam was going to come back out with a teleporting Sorcerer, right? Warboss trying to get away from Heretics and CSM, and more CSM in retreat path, but I don't think they can get into melee, which most likely would have finished him off if they could. 463, 437, single cap here for the Orks. Center uncapped, and the Chaos team need to get a natural back. Meanwhile, West Side, Plague Champion, has his Bow Spear. Big fan of this versus Orks. Not only does it do a big chunk of damage to them, but you can control Nob squads with it, and that marauding Warboss, of course. Usually wait until a bit later game to get it though, but it'll do good early on. It's 25 power, but he can go and bash power very quickly with it. No grenade barrage for those looters. Maybe it's on cooldown. Shooter Boys tying up those heretics there, and nicely done by Can't Micromates Stop Flaming. I assume that is certainly not Conholio. Tier 2 for everyone apart from that Kommando Nob. Did he upgrade his shooters? Only one of them. And no Nob leaders. So where's all his power gone? He's got some stick bombs. He's got flamers on his sluggers, or burners I should say. Kicking off in the middle, is it? It's a little bit of action. Chaos taking it back, 445 to 436. Very even VPs heading into tier 2. Players starting to think about their tier 2 purchases. A blood crush from each Chaos player would be cool, but I don't think we're going to see that. If they don't see a blood crusher, then weird boys all round, I guess. If you're facing a fully infantry army in tier 2, your weird boy is going to do a hell of a lot for you. Kicking off mid, Orks coming to cap and jump in. Those heretics in trouble. Those are default heretics. They don't really want to fight anything in melee combat in tier 2. Certainly not a melee squad. These guys with grenade launchers being shot to pieces. The aspiring champion is a die last leader. So you saw all of the cultists there losing models while he just stood there and shot his bolt pistol. Tier 3 for mentally deranged. That is a ballsy move. His teammates not particularly thrilled with this decision from the looks of it. Rostam in a way. Nice Marines with Sonic Blaster for Rostam. Can camp that thing in the middle to hold that VP if you can get him there. There's a Warboss chasing him. Have you got anything yet, Mr. Warboss? No. He's almost level 3 though, so he's done well. Rogal Dorn over here. Dreadnought on the way for Rostam. Maybe a Mark of Corn fella. Someone just died. Oh, the Plague Champion died. How dare you. Weird boy has something to do with it, I think. Fighting over Chaos Naturals VP. Raptors don't have their aspiring champion here. I don't think it's super needed right now. You've got to pick your purchases carefully. No Nob leader for the Storm Boys though. I think they do want that. He's on the way. Choppy infantry indeed. Weird boy getting shots in. That is crazy. The best basic attack ever, that guy. Warboss with another lucky escape. Maybe no. Sorcerer gets the last hit on him. Almost level 2. Those Raptors. The Sorcerer is what? He's almost level 3. Big fight here. Here comes a Dreadnought though, forcing melee combat on those Storm Boys, doing 73 DPS or something like that. And I imagine he's going to be a Mark of Corn bloke. But we'll see. Oh, Heretics taken out there. Look at a Dakar on the Sorcerer now. Sluggers in retreat path, but taken out almost completely by that Blastmaster shot. Looks like they will get away with the Nob leader there. West side, meanwhile. Light grenades missing over there. Not sure if he's got a good one off. Stick bombs for those Havocs. Oh, the stun bombs went in. That's lucky for them. There's a stick bomb barrage. He might have finished them off. Chaos Predator on the way from Entity Deranged, so he went very, very quick, aggressive tier 3. But he is getting something big out, relatively big out, relatively early here. Tier 3 now for Andreas. In fact, it's only Matouzka and Rostam who are staying in tier 2 for now. Obviously, a tier 2 Dreadnought is going to slow down your tier 3 quite considerably. Feels like a pretty quick tier 3 all round, really. And why not? Orks with a very powerful tier 3. Bloodlet is teleporting in. Set upon though by stick bombers and sluggers. Stick bombers are not useless in melee, certainly not. Bloodlet is barely getting out of there. Nurgle Worship perhaps saving them. That was a nice black grenade. Here's some stick bombs though from the Kommando Nob himself. Sluggers getting out with a single model, just a Nob leader there. Such a good squad leader, that fella. Here's that Chaos Predator, no mark yet, but we'll give some nice fire support. What do we have in terms of anti-vehicle? We do have some tank busters on the way. Stick bombers can stun vehicles. Weird Boy can do some decent AV damage with his basic attack. And we have 2 of those. And some more tank busters over here for Matouzka. So it'll be under threat. Mark of Nurgle for the Chaos Predator. Gives it melee resistance, a bunch of hit points, and a damage over time basic attack on its autocannon. Not great anti-vehicle. Can still do a job for you, but it's good for blobs of infantry, and just being tough does get its speed slowed down though. Mark of Khorne Dreadnought with Blood Rage. Wow, nice special. Taking shots from a Beamy. That's from the Mekboy level 3. He's not taking shots on the Predator tank. There we go, he's got one there. Warped out is the Dreadnought by the Sorcerer, who is now into level 3. What about you, Mr. Chaos Lord? You got anything? He's getting his Lightning Claws. Armor of the Inferno would be the obvious choice in a 3v3 like this. Look at this tank right on the front lines. Does not give a crap about what the Orks are bringing. But now he might. Here comes some tank busters. Getting some decent shots in. Some of these are counting as slight rear armor hits too. Tank buster barrage. I think that would have finished it off if he didn't move. Definitely would have, I think. Sorcerer in amongst them though, tying them up now. Tank needs repairs badly. Level 4 Chaos Lord of Lightning Claws, 100 DPS power melee weapon. Plague Champion, what level is this fella? Almost level 4. Bow Spear making short work of that node, and CSM will try to cap this VP, but here comes some sluggers. A bunch of other orky stuff. And he quite rightly retreats the hell out of there. No one able to stabilize in the middle. We're seeing the Chaos players attempting to do so with the Blastmaster. Maybe some shrines will go up. But Orks not caring about the middle, going straight around the edge onto this natural VP. And why not? Oh, Mekboy teleported facing the wrong way. Warp Vomit completely whiffs and misses everything. CSM almost taking him out on retreat there with their melee attacks. Chaos Lord. Just seeing what's going on over here. You right, fellas? Yep, now he's going mid. Another Chaos Predator over here from Andreas Leonhardt. We'll see what if he gets in terms of marks. If any. Nob squad on the way for the Kommando Nob player. What am I hearing? Hearing some kind of explosions going on. Probably just stick bombs or something. That's a lot of Orks gathered on this east side, going really hard for this VP. Maybe they feel like they are weaker in a big front-loaded fight in the center, so they're trying to skirt around as often as they can here. Those Raptors are going to get away barely, trying to take that VP. Chaos Lord Looking very scary, getting in amongst the Orks. They need to turn and try to engage him and get him off it. I don't think I've seen him, or at least I haven't noticed him using Kill the Weak once. That is Dark Flames on Retreat Path. That is nasty. Global ability of the Sorcerer. That is so nasty. Look at that. Trying to finish off this Shooter Boy squad at 15 hit points, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Weird Boy in trouble, but gets away. Finally, Chaos can take their VP back. 359, 357, so close on VPs. Here comes a Nob squad. Eating a Black Grenade and walking through it like it's nothing. No, did not see the Bilious Discharge there, which is so good at controlling Nobs. Just a complete shutdown on their movement. And it debuffs them, right? Yeah, debuff the speed and damage. So if you use Bilious Discharge and then shoot at something, it literally does not move. Gotta be relatively close for that, so you might take a lot of Daka, but it's worth it. Tank went down here, as you can see. This one is mentally deranged, so that was Andreas's tank that went down. Not sure what it was doing all the way over here. Trying to help out against that Orky push on the east side, I guess. Here's a shrine. It's a corn shrine, so it will birth out these bloodletters every once in a while, which is pretty damn useful. Sorcerer mixing it up. Seen him on the front lines quite a lot. Trying to control those backline Orks with his Vestments of the Warp. He's also got Tome of Subjugation. Good for those late game powerhouse infantry squads, which Orks of course have in the form of Nobs, and slightly less so in the form of Flash Kits. There are the Flash Kits getting knocked over here, tied up by Raptors, who do have their aspiring champion. Now they did some good work there, drawed a lot of fire and tied up the dangerous Flash Kits, and here comes the rest of the Chaos stuff. Now starting to look pretty solid in the middle here. Got a Mark of Khorne tank, they've got a Predator with a Mark of Nurgle on it. Some Nurgly worship going on. They've got a pretty dangerous looking Chaos Lord who's kitted out with Mantle of Hate and Icon of Khorne. We saw the Drain Life a little bit earlier. Bloodletters on their way to level 2. Orks again dismissed from the center. Can they mount a good 3-man push? Looks like we're going to see a 2-player push, maybe. He still has a bunch of stuff at base though, Rogal Dorn. Where is that Warboss? He's all the way up here, so that's going to be tough. Matouzka is the only one out on the field really, so he's waiting obviously. So that Rostam is going to try and resurrect mentally deranged and his Chaos Lord. It's a pretty cool looking model, that World Eater's Chaos Lord. Oh, Chaos Terminator's on the field from mentally deranged. No upgrade yet in terms of weaponry, but they start with some Twin Link Bolters and Power Fists. Not bad. Flash Kits do not have their blasters yet, which they'll want to get, I think. That psychic PvP damage does a lot to heavy armor and super heavy armor. Take some damage there, those Terminators, from Weird Boy shots and stuff. Big change for Terminators in 2.7. They are now classed as medium-sized units. So anti-vehicle weapons will not hit them reliably any longer, which is a massive change. Not one I'm very much a fan of. I like the idea of big, bulky Terminators being hit in the face by las cannons and stuff, but it was done for balance reasons. Terminator is seen as relatively rare and kind of a weak choice in 1v1, as that was a nice Nurgly nuke you just saw. Didn't think it hit too much stuff though. But yeah, we have these medium-sized Terminators now, and that was done for Terminators across the board as far as I'm aware. Even the Grey Knight varieties. So it's going to be harder, a little bit harder to deal with these guys. Of course they are still massively vulnerable to plasma weapons and inferno damage and that kind of thing. But anti-vehicle weapons, missiles, las cannons, that kind of thing, not really going to hit them much anymore. Slugger boys, level 2, forcing off some CSM. Those are Mark of Zinch, I think. Yes, they are. Slugger boys now getting into all sorts of trouble, fighting a Dreadnought. Not what they want to do at all. Looks like this guy's going to be used to defend the backlines more than anything, this Dreadnought. How are they going to fight this, the Orks? They have massive armies. We have 2 Nob squads on the field. You have some commandos, some flash kits. But a lot of it is relatively squishy stuff, apart from the Nobs. Flash kits have 1200 hit points. It's not too bad, but it's... I think these guys are heavy infantry these days. So 400 hit points of heavy infantry each is not too bad. 359 to 159. Chaos with a commanding VP lead now. And they have packed the middle with stuff. There's a Land Raider Phobos up there. Then they need to try and attack from multiple angles, use some rocks, and just really play it well. The Orks here. We'll see what they do. There is the rocks. There's a turret over there. There's another rocks. This could be it. This could be the push right now. Tank buster shots going in. Down goes that tank. That tank didn't even move. There's a tank buster barrage. What an awesome push from the Orks. Nob squad leading a line in the middle there. Are they going after that Phobos? They might be. Chaos Lord is going to fight him with his claws. There's a kill the weak. Really good push from the Orks using those double rocks to great effect. The Chaos players didn't seem to react to the rocks. It was very strange. Took some big hits there. We'll see what the rosters look like after this. Nob squad chasing down this Phobos. Chaos Lord's going to go down here. Down he goes. There's the Dirge caster. Momentarily stunning things and then doing a nice debuff afterwards. But Nob squad still chasing it with their U-jammers. Sluggers even helping out here. Not doing a hell of a lot of damage to the Land Raider, but they're doing something. Maybe we should tie up that Blastmaster instead. Sorcerer is in there trying to stop those Orks from chasing. Down goes the Phobos. I think it was a tank buster that got it, was it? Nob squad do get out of there. I don't think the Sluggers got out of there. We see that Dreadnought over there being kind of idle. Needs to help out a little bit. Going after that Mekboy, takes him out of one hit. Massive running engagement. Chaos starting to come back into the field. I don't think the Orks can hold it. It was a very good push, but I don't think they can sustain it. Here's some stuff back here. That's a very quick looking Dreadnought. Chaos Terminators with their autocannon, it looks like. Let's get this UI back up here. Yeah, Chaos did lose some stuff. Lost a tank and a Land Raider at least. Level 7 Kommando Nob. Might see him with his rocket launcher later on if we see some more vehicles. Double Great Unclean Ones on the way. That sounds fun. Some more Nobs this time from Rogal Dorn. I think it's his first Nob squad. He is down over here. But Warboss buffs plus Nobs can be very, very powerful. Mekboy is also down, of course, so he can't use his battery pack or his super tough beam if he gets it. He's got some corn worship going on. Chaos Lord gets revived, and the blue Chaos team retake the middle, and again with this commanding VP lead of over 200 with double Great Unclean Ones on the way. Going to be a Herculean effort from the Orks to get back into this, I think. They might have some good pushes, but can they hold the mid? They've got to hold the mid. Plague Champion building another turret. And they won't have rocks this time. In fact, Matouzka has rocks. Unless he already used one as it's still on cooldown. But I don't think he did. Bloodletter's teleporting in. There is the Imperial Abyss from Mentally Deranged actually killing some allied Bloodletters there on retreat. And didn't kill much in terms of Orks, it didn't seem like. Nob squad here using their frenzy no longer gives them damage immunity, of course. Big change in 2.7. As always, you can read all about those changes at dawnofwar.info. Billy's discharge doing its thing, helping to control those Nobs, and off they go. Maybe it's worth now switching to that fist, especially if the Orks take the middle here, because that fist is so good for capping, and you can always switch back to the Bile Spewer as needed. Double Great Unclean Ones on the field. Here's one of them. This is Rostam's. Andreas is coming towards the middle now. You can see on your minimap. Nob squad going after the Dreadnought, using though the Blood Rage and dealing with it pretty nicely. Oh, now it's taking beamy shots though from the Mekboy, who does have his super tough beam. Down goes the Dreadnought. Only 57 VPs remain though. Weirdboy might be able to get a decap up there. He's going to try it. Here come the great unclean ones of Nurgle though. Passively damage anything nearby with some nasty abilities too. Oh, we have a shotgun now up for the Commando. 329.57 is a single cap for the red Orky team. Shots going in on the great unclean one. But are Flash Kit still alive? Doesn't look like it. Not sure if they ever got the blasters up. Yeah, I think they're going to struggle dealing with the two great unclean ones here. I mean, it can send the Nobs in toe to toe, but the great unclean one can vomit on them and stomp and have lots of fire support as well. 1-to-1 cap. Orcs trying to get some kind of foothold in the center, but so difficult to do. They're pushing the chaos off and they're straight back in there every time they do so. Another dreadnought on the way for Rostam. It's got a lot of red as well, and another great and clean one for mentally deranged. More Nobs for the Commando player. Shooter boys running away here, but they do not get away. Just the mere presence of the great unclean one killed them there. What's going on? Great unclean one in base, going to be teleported out. There we go. By Rostam. This guy can't get teleported out. He needs to be kind of careful. You can teleport out allied units, but he just used it, so it'll be on cooldown. There's a cloud of flies. Boom. Whole bunch of Orcs just desperately trying to get that middle back. Chaos players not retaking their natural VP here for whatever reason. There's a Nurgle Shrine. Stick bombs being thrown in. Just absolute mayhem. This great and clean one is going to go down, I think. Surrounded by 3 Nob squads. He put up a good fight, but he is going to go down. This stuff needs to run the hell away because that guy's going to explode. Level 2 looters doing some work. Can't shoot those Terminators now though, can ya? There's a zap going in. 319.57. Level 3 Raptors with the Melter Bomb. And Melters. Why are they so quick? Oh, there's Corn Worship over there. Here comes another great and clean one. This one's mentally deranged. Other great and clean ones are perfectly sane, I'd like to point out. Leonhardt down to just 3 units. He has a lot of resources. Not sure why he's not spending it right now. Maybe he wants another great and clean one. I guess he does. Or a Phobos or something. 319.48, 2-to-1 cap for Chaos. There's a Rocks, but looks like it's going to whiff. Miss pretty much everything yet. Warboss with his Power Claw and heavy armor. Now he's pretty damn tough. Almost 2,000 hit points going for the decap. Don't think even he is going to be able to stand up to that stuff in the middle though. He's going to go down. Haven't seen a hell of a lot from him in this game, this Warboss. Haven't noticed any buffs going off. Sorcerer goes down, shot to pieces by the Mekboy who has his big shooter equipped. Yeah, Orcs struggling, really struggling to fight the middle there. It's not easy. I mean, what can... Whoa. A nuke on retreat path. I mean, what can you do? Set things up with stick bombs and weird boys and then try and go in, which they've been trying to do, I feel like. Don't really have too much in the way of artillery when you're an Orc player. Some battle wagons running things over might have been good, but then you wouldn't have these Nobs. GG, says Andreas Leonhardt. 7 VPs remain, but again there is harassment on this VP. He's done well, Matouzka, keeping the pressure up on this east side. I think he's done really well. Great and clean one fighting Nobs, shrugging them off for now. And here comes a Mark of Corn Dreadnought. They're not going to be able to cap, but they have uncap the middle here, the Orks. Nob squad on capping duty, being suppressed by heretics, but those heretics are not going to stand there for long. Raptors not fully engaging here. They've been left idle with their melters. Nob squad taking it, and now being suppressed by havocs. Do they have frenzy available to go rush them down? 295 to 7. Double cap for the Orks. Not over yet. Here's a Chaos level 8 Chaos Lord. Bloody hell. Doing ungodly amounts of damage with those claws. Still not taking their VP up there. He's too busy repairing his dreadnought. Rockets going in from the tank busters. Rogal Dorn doesn't have a whole lot of stuff though. He's getting a Nob squad out. Andreas Leonhardt did get his second Great and Clean one, I think that is. Leonhardt, I keep calling him Lionheart. There's that foul snare. Used pretty nicely. And forcing off those knobs. They are eventually going to cap their VP. There we go. They're going to get a 2-to-1. Bloodletter's going after the Weird Boy, but they were stunned as they teleported there. The lumbering presence of double Great and King ones coming towards you. Not a great sight for these shooter boys, and double synchronized vomits. Awesome. Cloud of flies now. Nob squad, are they going to engage? They are going to engage. That is a tough fight though. Don't really have access to plasma weaponry, the Orks. Flash gits with their blasters would do a lot of damage to the Great and Clean ones, but we're not seeing any of those guys. We saw one squad, but I don't know if it ever had blasters. Orks have a triple cap now, turning this around right now. Weird Boy level 2. This is still the same Weird Boy, right? Yeah, it is. Has his warpath to support that Nob squad. VP says Rostam. You're damn right, you need some VPs. They have big armies, Chaos, but Orks have kept the pressure up and they're starting to buckle the Chaos lines here. Starting to mix it up and spread out a bit more. In 1v1, they've got a better chance than 3v3, I feel like, in the middle. Rocket launcher now on the Commando is level 8, so it's doing a hell of a lot of damage too. Stick bombs. I wonder if the stick bombs damage scales with his level. I don't think it does. The abilities don't scale unless explicitly told to with leveling. 58 damage per grenade. Pretty good. Get a nice damage buff when you have the Mega Boom kit, as you see there. 111 to 7 on the VPs. Orks holding on to 7 victory points here. Making a big push against the Great and Clean ones. Tank buster barrages, Nob squads. Bloodlet is teleporting into the Ork lines there. They're not going to last very long. Here comes another Nob squad. Raptors doing their thing, or at least trying to with their melters. Center is being lost, or at least it's uncapped. Stealed out 1-to-1. Flash gets on the way for Matouzka. Uh-oh, Weird Boy might go down. That was a really nice foul snare to finish him off. Chaos Lord trying to chase him. Does not get the hit, but he does go down anyway, just a sheer ranged fire. Tank Buster's trying to cap, but here is that Greater Demon of Nurgle to get them out of there. Absolute mayhem. This guy's taking a lot of damage from those looters. And tank busters, of course. He is soaked up so much damage though. Look at this. Look how long it's taken him to kill him. And by the time they get him low, here comes some more Chaos stuff. Looks like the Chaos players going for this natural VP of the Orks for once. Don't think I've ever seen it uncapped. I'm sure it has been. Level 8 Plague Champion with the Armor of Pestilence. those blight grenades and the bile spear, and that was enough. That cap right there, or that decap rather, was enough to get the game because the Chaos players got their natural back. So close. Orks put up a hell of a fight. Really came back into it there. Let's look at his heroes. End of the game. Level 10 Chaos Sorcerer. I never saw him use Tome of Subjugation, but I'm sure he must have several times. Chaos Lord level 9. We've got a level 8 Plague Champion. Level 9 Commando. Level 4 Warboss. He was down for a few times, I think. Level 6 Mech. He did have that super tough beam. Yeah, I think they just needed some more flash kits with those blasters. Would have done a good job against the Great and Clean ones. But hey, when you have a choice between flash kits and knobs, most players are going to get knobs. But there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.